Welcome to our Plugs Community Connection. I am your host, DJ Kitty Cat, with my sister co-host, Miss Morningstar on WKRA 92.7 FM The Change. If you're looking for the best in news, current events, community outreach programs, and shopping connections, you've come to the right place. We've got a great mix of content and community connections lined up for you this evening, along with special guest interviews. So, grab your favorite drink of choice, turn up the volume, and let's get into it.
Good evening, WKRA, or good morning, WKRA 92.7 The Change. It is your morning host, DJ Kitty, here with my sister, my girl, Miss Morningstar. We are from Our Plugs, the Community Connection. And today has been a day already. We had some technical difficulties even trying to get on. So, you know what? We are not going to let that stop or silence our voices. I feel like sometimes that technology works for us and against us, but nevertheless, we are here and we are back. We're going to move forward. So good morning. I hope you've had a great night's rest and you've had your breakfast and you can come on in and listen to this broadcast. We've got some stories to talk about. We've got some things that are happening all over this nation that we need to address. And today, normally we have Ali Gold come on and speak on veterans. Well, he had a previous engagement. He has a previous engagement. So today we're just going to talk to our leaders who mentor. And we're going to get into what's happening because, as I'm quite sure most of you know, in Mississippi, there was something that happened on campus at Delta University that was just not okay. I will say this, we are better than this. We will not stand for this, and we will get through this. Miss Morningstar, can you share the StreamYard with the guys, DC and Reggie? For whatever reason, they didn't get the link. Like I said, technical difficulties. When you have a message that has to be said, the devil is busy, but my God is busier. So we're going to get this message out, whether they want us to or not. We're going to continue to move forward, whether they want us to or not. And what we're going to do is we're going to tell our listening audience what's going on, because they have to know. It's a must that we all know what is happening so we can make our children aware. There's so many young people that are off to college right now that every parent I know is on high alert. I know as a grandmother, I definitely am. But I say that to say this: come on in. The rules still apply. Have your 16 ounces of water first thing in the morning. Take your morning meds. And I hope you've had something really good to eat and you're ready for this message. Life comes at you fast, and sometimes you're just not ready to even acknowledge that what is happening is really happening, but it's happening. And when we are faced with difficult moments, it's always good to hear a good word. And we're going to get that good word today from my sister, Miss Morningstar. Miss Morningstar, are you ready for some positive affirmations? Because the nation needs it. It's not even just us. The entire nation needs some positive affirmations at this point. So what do you have for us this morning, sis? You're on mute.
Good morning, everyone. Let's get them started. Let's get motivated, encouraged for the week or, for today, because, today is about leadership. And clearly we don't have any within our United States. So it's a good idea to teach leadership for the real people who actually believe in leadership. So this is just a few tips if you're in your um, everyday journey on leadership. When you're managing a team, building a business, or just striving to be a better you, how to build a better stronger foundation, and how you can strategize decisions with confidence, vision, and the ability to stay grounded during these adverse times. So let's start with the first one. I express my ideas clearly and confidently. My words inspire and motivate those I lead. I listen to others with empathy and understanding. Empathy is important. I foster open and honest communication within my team. My voice carries authority and compassion. I encourage others to share their ideas freely. I'm approachable and receptive to feedback. I create a culture of open dialogue and collaboration. My communication builds trust and unity. I speak with authority while remaining approachable. I value the input of everyone I lead. My words and actions align to create trust. I remain calm and collective in all my communication. I am thoughtful and an intentional communicator. My words spark innovation and progress. And those are some food for thought for successful leaders and effective communication, guys.
Absolutely. And that's good. I mean, we always need a quick reminder of what works and what doesn't work. And thank you for
Mm-hmm.
that, Miss Morningstar. Now, let me go ahead and do the weather. And you guys know what the weather is: hot. So, Holly Springs, Mississippi, we have a high of 91, a low of 66 with a 15% chance of rain. Feels like temperature is 94 degrees. With and in the morning, I'm sorry, feels like temperature is 94 degrees in the morning and 73 degrees in the evening. Now that's some good weather. Well, the 73 degrees is. Winds are out of the south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Humidity is moderate in the morning and high in the afternoon and evening. Mosquito risk is medium. Let's see, grass and tree pollen are both moderate. Ragweed pollen is high. Air quality is moderate. It's going to be mainly sunny today in Holly Springs. Um, Stray showers and a possible thunderstorm in the evening, isolated thunderstorms. So just keep your umbrella on hand just in case. Memphis, Tennessee, you have a high today of 93, a low of 70 degrees with the 15% chance of rain. Feels like temperature is 96 degrees in the morning, 80 degrees in the evening. Winds are out of the west, southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Humidity in the morning is moderate. In the afternoon and evening, it is high. Mosquito risk is moderate. Grass pollen is moderate. Tree pollen is moderate. And ragweed pollen is high. Air quality is moderate. It's going to be a partly cloudy day with a possible stray shower or thunderstorm. Hot Houston, we are under an air quality alert, meaning if you have respiratory issues, please limit your outdoor exposure. Today it's going to be a high of 93, a low of 75 with a 15% chance of rain. Feels like temperature is 95 degrees in the morning, 81 degrees in the evening. Winds are out of the east northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Humidity is moderate in the morning and high in the evening. Mosquito risk is high. Grass pollen is moderate. Tree and ragweed pollen are high. Air quality is moderate. It's going to be a sunny and cloudy day in Houston, Texas. And that is your weather for today. I hope you guys get out there, touch some grass, get some sun, and enjoy this day that you were allowed to wake up in and be with your family and friends. Okay, let's get into this news that we can use or news that reflects Sometimes it reflects our views and sometimes it does not. So unfortunately, there was a body discovered on Delta campus yesterday. A young Black man was found at 7 o'clock yesterday morning. He was found lynched in Mississippi at the university on campus. The university did put out a statement earlier today. Delta State University staff discovered a deceased individual on campus. University police and local authorities were immediately notified and are conducting an active investigation. At this time, we have no further details to share. Out of respect for the individual and their loved ones, we will refrain from additional comments until authorities release more information. Our community is deeply saddened by this loss. We extend our heartfelt condolences to the family and friends impacted. Counselors and support services are available to students, faculty, and the staff through the O.W. Riley Counseling Center. And we will share updates when appropriate and ask for your thoughts and compassion during this difficult time. All centennial events and classes for yesterday were canceled. And then it ended with campus is safe. Is it though? Is it? Because how did this even happen? I have nothing. How? I'm just going to put it out there. A man who preached hate, a man who lived in hate, a man who profited from hate, was unalived by someone in his own group, had nothing to do with Black people. Now, let me be clear, white people. You can't demand that we do anything. This is not slavery. We have free will. If we choose to not give a care about someone who talked disparagingly about every facet of our lives, we have every right to do so. But for you to think that it is okay to go and take a young life who had nothing to do with this, we see you. We see you, white people. And I'm going to say it, not all white people, but the ones who are, oh, I'm so upset because people are celebrating. No one's celebrating. And if they do, they have a right to feel how they want to feel. Did you make any disparaging comments when George Floyd passed? What about Sandra Bland? What about Emmett Till? What about, it's sad that there are so many faces that are going through my mind and names. Trayvon Martin. You guys sat and gave him press and did meet and greets, and he signed autographed Skittles. And come on, y'all. You have got to be kidding me. When is enough enough? Y'all aren't going to be happy until, I don't think you'll ever be happy, because you won. You got the criminal in the office, and you've lost your rights. You're losing your farms. You're losing your Medicaid. You're losing everything. And now the man that preached hate lost his life again. This is white on white crime. Black people ain't got nothing to do with this. We don't even go to Utah. Ms. Morningstar, I'm going to need you to go ahead and take over, because I've been and went off, and, you know, I care about Raven and I care about my listeners, but I am pissed.
That's the story in itself. I'm waiting to hear more regarding this story, because just don't seem right. And when it don't seem right, when it smells funky, it usually is funky. This was in Cleveland, Mississippi, I believe this happened. This is where this college is. So definitely let's read up on some more to see where the evidence leads, if there is going to be any thorough investigations done, and sending prayers and thoughts to the family of the victim who tragically is no longer here. Strange fruited
Yep.
campus.
It's in Grenada, Mississippi. And the young man, he was a 21-year-old. His name was DeMartravian Reed, and he went by Trey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so outdone.
Well, it's funny that you said the truth about white on white violence versus black on black violence. There's an article that's out about the phrase that black on black crime has long been used in the U.S. media and politics as a way to stigmatize African Americans, and it has been.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's you go through these social media networks, that's all you hear. What about this black on black crime? What about this and that and this and that? And it implies that we're a violent community. It puts targets on our back all the time, and it just simply just not true. It's not true.
No, it's not.
And this is what the data really shows. According to this article that I read, according to the U.S. Department of Justice and the FBI crime statistics, about 80 to 85% of violent crimes, including white victims, are committed by white offenders, while roughly 85 to 90% of violent crimes involving black victims are committed by black offenders. So the numbers are very similar, So while they try to act as if we are just committing all these heinous crimes, you guys are committing just as much or more of crime towards your own people, as they say, your people, white on white violence. As we saw what happened in the situation a few days ago, which now has sparked this outrageous
they want to make him a martyr.
Thing of violence in the world, people passing threats. We have news media on Fox News spewing violence, actually said out of his mouth that homeless or people with mental disabilities or with mental illness should be killed, unalived. That's what he said. Now he wanted to walk it back, but what he said.
And they sat there and he acted as if it was okay.
And everybody acting like it was
Nobody
okay
pushed back.
Said that. Yeah. And he still had his job.
But the folks who are making comments on social media, there's a Klein ISD employee that they fired. They're firing people for making comments.
They are firing. So
that's a lawsuit.
They are firing and suspending people because of how they've made comments about CK, about CK's unaliving. They are firing people. This is the most corrupt, just out of control democracy. Like, we don't live in a democracy any longer. This is definitely turning into a dictatorship. It's going to lead us into that conversation we were having last month with Reggie about civil war. We are no longer safe here.
We aren't.
And they are, planning their refuge, and they're trying to get their payback against Black people who did nothing. We weren't in Utah. We had nothing to do with what the young man Tyler did. He has to pay for his crimes. And, they want to pin, and that's why I spoke about leadership in my opening, because we have a whole president and a vice president who are the most irresponsible leaders I've ever seen in my entirety of 45 years on this planet. I've never seen grown people get up and be so irresponsible on the national stage and say it is a group of left people. What is this left and right? At the end of the day, this young man, apparently, as the evidence comes out, he had an obsession with this person. He didn't like him. He had a grudge. Whatever the case was the case.
It ain't got
Now,
nothing to do
was
with
he
us.
supposed to have handled his grudge that way? Absolutely not. Nobody should handle their grudges that way. But let's be real. He's been taught to be an assassin since he was 8 years old. Okay? You train them young to be exactly what they grow to be. And you can't be mad at nobody but yourself.
I mean, they
That
trained them to
for
be
that
this way.
reason. You can't be upset, and you dang on sure can't go blaming other nationalities and other people who ain't got nothing to do or anything to do,
I
and
mean,
just blame a whole side of people for something that one person made a choice in doing.
we don't even pay Charlie Kirk any attention. That's how
Nobody know,
irrelevant
yeah.
he is.
Nobody
Unless you're on the
prayed on
political,
it. Nobody
no,
thought about
unless
it.
you're on the
Nothing.
political, in the political realm, you know who he is. We know who he is because we follow politics. But most people in this country don't.
No.
And no one, I mean, at the end of the day, he can have whatever, well, he could have had whatever beliefs he had. That had nothing to do with us. So for somebody to be this stupid and to come and attack a Black person and unalive him because your dude got knocked off by one of your own.
Well, Kitty, we just say allegedly. We don't know the story yet. We don't know the whole outcome of that situation with the college.
I'm gonna try and say allegedly.
Yeah, well, we need to, because we don't want no backlash.
Strange fruit typically,
But it was
doesn't come from
definitely
us.
definitely strange fruit. And far as we know, allegedly right now, I don't know the facts behind that, but we're gonna be responsible, okay? Because obviously it's nobody else in this country that's leaders. There are other leaders that's responsible, but of the ones that everybody is turning the stage to and looking at are irresponsible.
Very
So
irresponsible.
they're pointing fingers. They're bringing heat onto, and you're supposed to be the leaders of the world, the United States, when you're picking sides and you're choosing sides, and you're bringing your lunatic radicals out to cause harm. So it's just a mess. It is a mess, and I mean, everybody, please just keep your head on a swivel and read. Find out what's going on, because that's the most we can do is stay active and read.
You know, he pulled his big one, allegedly, because now no one's talking about the e-files. No one's talking about the files. Matter of fact, the day that CK actually lost his life at the hands of one of his own, they voted down the bill to release the files on the same day. So what we are dealing with is a bunch of people who want to incite, and they don't realize that they're being used by someone who knows that his back is up against the wall. White people, stop letting him use you. Stop letting him use you. Like, seriously.
Definitely extremists. Like, they're losing it. They're losing it in a way that I've never seen people lose it before. They're losing it, and it's going to cost them more than what they can bite off of. So I just say, you know, people, just be cautious and calm, and speak with your children, because these lunatics out here, they want blood, they want justice, you know, and they got their justice. The young man was captured.
I mean, he was captured. What
a few days. Let him go through the process. Let him go through the process.
I mean, they are so busy trying to point the finger at somebody else, and it is your own people.
Even if he was radicalized, What that got to do with us?
None of this has anything to do with us.
What that got to do with anybody else other than himself? You know, they want to put out who he's dating and this and that, just because they have this weird thing about, you know, the community and things like that. They have these, they're scared. They act like it's just all very strange. It's very demonic to me, if you want to ask me. And it's very strange. And these people are losing it.
Yeah, I've seen several of them screaming like they are crazy.
Screaming and crying.
What are you screaming and crying for? We didn't do it.
They didn't even know Charlie Kirk.
They didn't even know him.
He didn't know them.
Baby, when the man with the rotten hand, when he goes to meet Lucifer, baby, these people are gonna crash and burn.
It's gonna be awful.
Yeah, it is. Awful.
It's gonna be awful.
Because they honestly have this misconception that this man is a god, and he's not.
And he's supposed to live forever. He won't. He already.
Have you seen them cankles?
Have you seen him?
Seen them hands? He's not. If he can make it to the end of this year, you know, I can't predict what's going to happen, but you know, but he has some great doctors. So you know, Walter Reed, he's got the best doctors in the nation. You know, but good luck to him. I can't even say that. Anywho, let's take a quick commercial break, Miss Morningstar. You're listening to Our Plugs, the Community Connection on WKRA 92.7 The Change. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Tori G, owner and founder of Say Something Tees, a statement t-shirt company. I got into this business by mistake, but the mission was no accident. As a Black female-owned brand, we do more than just sell shirts. We make statements. Our designs spark conversation, sometimes shady, sometimes in your face, but always bold. From the 92% collection, honoring Black women who always show up, to Dear Black Woman, a love letter to our strength and resilience. Our tees empower, uplift, and keep it real. Because at Say Something Tees, we believe your shirt should speak before you do. Shop Black owned, shop with a purpose. Find us at www.saysomething.biz and let's say something together.
This fall, step into style that has bold and beautiful as the season itself. From cozy layers, statement pieces, Morningstar Boutique has everything to meet your needs. Affordable fashion meets everyday elegance. This season, it's your time to shine.
At Lovership Apparel, we believe fashion is more than clothing. It's a statement of self-love, confidence, and authenticity. From our signature beautiful hoodies to our versatile everyday wear, every piece is designed to inspire you to embrace who you truly are. Whether you're at home or on the go, making moves in the world, Lovership Apparel lets you show up boldly and comfortably. Shop the collection today at www.lovershipapparel.com or find us on ourplugs.com. Lovership Apparel, where love meets style.
Welcome to Compassion Counseling and Training Services, LLC, where healing takes flight. I am Nicole Wiley, licensed independent clinical social worker, and we empower children, individuals, families, and couples through individualized therapy via telehealth. Using evidence-based approaches like CBT and mindfulness, we help clients build resilience and rediscover their wings. If you're ready to begin your journey, visit CompassionCounselingAndTrainingServices.com.
And I'd like you to do one more thing for me. Hold up two fingers. This is you, and this is me, and the space that exists between us should be filled with value.
Equal, a global human initiative, and its value identity model are the outcomes of that day. The outcome that Prince, the revolution, and George Floyd produced.
Why advertise with Our Plugs, LLC? What do you get? Radio promotion. Perfect for online businesses. YouTube promotion. Customers can view your commercial. TikTok promo. Gain followers and showcase product. Follow us on all platforms. YouTube and TikTok Our Plugs, LLC. www.ourplugs.com.
And we are back. You are listening to Our Plugs, the Community Connection on WKRA 92.7 The Change. Miss Morningstar, is there any stories that you wanted to get into before we bring the fellas up?
I was trying to see if I had something else to distract us from this stuff, because I really want to start just trying to focus on other things other than these
Me
people.
too.
You know,
Me too.
I realize that we have to speak on it, but not for too long. We don't want to be too heavy on him.
No, I don't
Because
want
I feel like we're giving too much airway, too
Yeah.
much air underneath. So let's bring the guys up.
Yeah, let's bring them up. Let's change this narrative.
Yeah. Let's
Good morning, DC. Good morning.
get our leaders up. Hey y'all, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, ladies. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you guys?
Great. I think Reggie may be muted.
Yeah.
Yeah, Reggie is.
Hello,
muted.
everybody. WKRA. Hey, everybody. Brother DC and Miss Morningstar and DJ Kitty Hayes, everybody.
Hey.
Hey. We're here. Happy to be here.
Absolutely.
So today, normally we have Ali on, and he's speaking on Veterans Voice. He did send me the recording, but of course it's too large for me to play. So we will catch up with him next week. I know you guys wanted to see us go off on Ali like we normally have, because he always sends us something that sparks it inflames us. But we are in chill mode today. So Reggie, I know it is on you today to speak and lead. So I'm going to hush, and you can go ahead and introduce yourself and what you're speaking on today.
Okay. Well, again, it's just, it's a topic of discussion that I guess I am dubbed as leading off today. But yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts and ideas with respect to it as well. And again, it's just kind of, speaking to the kind of the climate that we're currently in. And so the question is America, a country that is the globe's or the world's top country, or are we a country that is destined to topple? And so that's the question that I just kind of like to put out there. And contrary to just kind of recycling the news, what I'm more interested in is how we can find solutions to change the trajectory of where we are, where we've been headed for my entire lifetime. And I'm sure yours as well. Excuse me. And again, what we can do to just kind of change the direction that we're headed in.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I agree with that. Change the narrative, please. Give us some tips on doing just that, Reggie, that would be good.
I mean, this is what I see. And again, please do chime in. I see the situation that we're in essentially such that we are using the problem to try to solve the problem. And all we're getting is more problems. Okay. We are operating within a social model that is broken. It was designed to be broken because the objective of this capitalistic social model is to prioritize products and profit over people. And then everything around that kind of idea supports that result or achieving that result. And so where we are as a result of that is we just have a lot of people who are in pain, and they're seeking out ways to express their pain because they're not aware of another option that they can utilize to pull them up out of it. And so we've got this broken social model that is, focused and prioritizing products and profit. And then we've got laws around that to support that, and here we are. And this is what I see. Until we can talk about laws, we can talk about policies, we can talk about penalties, we can talk about jail sentences, we can talk until we're blue in politics. We can talk until we're blue in the face about all of that. However, I'm convinced that until we effectively begin to impact and transform the heart, the human heart, which is what drives desire, people are just going to continue to do what they've been doing that got us here in the first place. Because until people change at their core, until people begin to desire something other than what has been placed in front of them, and that is that, okay, products are valuable, so let's buy products, and money is valuable, so let's get money and profit. And people are not so much. People are more so a means to that end. So we're not the priority. We are a tool, okay, that the capitalistic structure uses to achieve the purchase of products and the ability to gain profit. So until that dynamic changes, until that model changes, we continue to operate within the problem. And that is only going to produce the same outcome. And so I think that my suggestion is that we have to, even within this capitalistic model, we have to begin to pivot to a different social structure, a different social model that will lead us away from where we are to a place that is far better, or at least to, even if it's not far better than what we have right now, because we're in crisis, we're in trouble.
What say you, DC?
Yeah, I agree with pretty much everything Reggie has said. I mean, I think the rise of identity politics causes people to vote against their own personal interests just to be aligned with, whether it be a racial group, whether it be Christian identity, I think that's all been sewn into our politics for a reason. I don't think that the people that have, risen through the power structure now really even care about the citizens of America. I don't think they care. I think the country is controlled by the 1% elite with no moral compass. When you have people that hold mega platforms like Elon Musk, like Mark Zuckerberg, who have allowed freely the increase of racial rhetoric, identity, gender-based bias. The country is sick, and I mean, we're like a patient that's really sick. And the question is, what's the cure? What is the cure? And I truly believe, and I've said this multiple times, there's going to have to be pain before there's progress. Our American farmers are feeling that now. They've readily voted for a man and an administration who could care less whether they succeed or fail. And the reason why they voted for him is because they've laced the politics with religion, with identity politics, with uh, sexually biased politics. You know, the country is sick. You know, um,
Essentially politics that isolate or what is the word, exclude others and thereby cause others pain. So, you know, our politics, again, that operate within this societal structure of power and profit and products has produced pain within our social spaces. And people who are operating within that structure, because that's the only structure that they are aware of, that's the only program that's their operating system. So people are not being benefited from this capitalistic structure, and they're in pain. They have money, but they're not happy. They have material goods, but they're not satisfied. They're rich and they're famous, and they're unaliving themselves after they've achieved everything that they've been told that they need to achieve to attain happiness. And once they achieve all that, they figure out, wait a minute, all this stuff that I have doesn't feed me. It doesn't satisfy me. And so, and everything else around our societal kind of parameters support that. Everything that Daryl is alluding to. But the core of it that is that it's producing pain. And so we got a lot of people who are in pain that are trying to throw their pain out onto each other. And we see that in everything that all the news cycles, what you shared, the story that you shared, Miss Morningstar, the big news cycle that has been going around as it pertains to Charlie Kirk, that even the person who took his life was not, that he was in some type of distress, turmoil, anger, that's pain. And so until we begin to operate within a model that can pivot us away from the risk, the pain, the competition, and the conflict that we're currently operating in, and pivot us to safety, healing, connection, and collaboration with ourselves, in our relationship with ourselves, and as a result of that, as a byproduct that with one another, we're going to continue, we're going to stay right here, and it's just going to continue to amplify and get worse the way that it is. We need a new social model.
I agree with that. I feel like we've been in this same social model, in the same structure since the inception of America. We've never not been here.
You're right.
Now it is publicized. We see it. This has always gone on. It's just now we see it because we have social media. We can't even depend on the media, the mainstream media, because they've been overruled by their owners on what they can and cannot speak on. But we have social media now, and social media is running laps around mainstream media because, people want to know the truth. And honestly, as much as it pains me to say it, but we've always been here. It's just we've elected to stay away from that type of dysfunction.
Mm-hmm.
It's like your community, you stay within your community, let me stay from the radical,
Right.
all of us, we have a choice of being, independent, Democrat, Republican, or not, don't vote at all. Everyone has a choice. We've gained rights to do it, to be able to vote. We've gained rights now, for now. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. But we've gained, and so we have a right to go and vote. But again, it's within my social network that I don't see things like this. Well, we didn't. Growing up, we never saw stuff like this.
Right.
We heard about it. Our parents told us about it. but I don't remember being in the 80s and 90s and dealing with this type of crazy, this level of crazy.
And
But it's always been here.
and the reason, again, I point to the 1% elite, the 1% elite. Okay, we've always had our faction of racist people. You know, we've
Yeah.
always had that faction, and for the most part, they kind of stayed in their lane and never. You know, most of us have never intersected with that kind of a deal. But what the 1% elite has done is they've used that embedded hate, mistrust, or just the total ignorance to fuel a
It's
division.
fair.
To fuel a division. Now,
Mhm.
most average Americans sit at the table and we all think alike. I mean, they don't want to admit it, but we do. We want to know, you know, if we're a working family, we want to know how we're going to put our meal on the table for our family. We all want the best for our kids. We want them to go to the best schools. We want them to be safe. We want our health, you know, all of that. We all
Yeah.
think the same. But just imagine, you know, if people voted, you know, what was best in their interests, you know, versus identity politics. Let me latch on to something, you know, like I said, most people that use uh, Christianity as a cloak are not Christians because what you're preaching is not Christian values. You know, to hate. Uh, even Jesus welcomed in the sinner, right?
Yeah.
You know, so if you're so hell bent on uh, eliminating things that you feel are controversial, maybe you need to start at home and look in the mirror.
Yeah, I agree with that. A hard look in the mirror.
And I really like what you said earlier, DC, about the country being sick. Like literally, I think when COVID-19 came, that disease stripped a lot of people. It stripped a lot of people. It broke a lot of us down.
Mhm.
And I think something may have happened during that time that we weren't aware that was happening with the world, because with Trump becoming president, being president, doing such a poor job the first time around with COVID, and then people dying, losing family, due to the disease, people not truly believing this is what was happening,
Mhm.
and then finding out the hard way. I mean, it was just like a trauma dump. And it's been a trauma
Yeah.
dump ever since. And then when we tried to
Absolutely.
recover for those 4 years we had with Biden, the recovery was slow, but it was hard, but we were recovering. Now, like you said, we're sick. We're sick.
Again.
And I've never seen it this way.
No.
This is like a phenomenon. It's not something we've seen in our lifetime.
Ever.
And I don't even know if it's the same as what we can say, from our ancestors. I mean, they went through things which was much different, probably way much harder in some instances. But what we have now is just one of those things where you kind of don't know, which way to turn, who to look up, who's riding on the bus next to you. I don't ride the bus, but who's riding on the train next to you? Who you working with?
Exactly. It's made you be suspicious of everyone.
Yes.
Everyone.
Your enemy, you don't know who is the enemy at this point.
And that's all part of the plan.
Yes.
That's all part of the plan. They make us be suspicious of each other.
Can't hear you, Reggie.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. To your point, Miss Morningstar, even who's your next door neighbor? That's the entire point, is to stoke fear.
Yes.
And chaos. But just to insert, the way that I see this situation is that you inject someone with a disease, and 2 days later they look fine. You can't they look great. You know, there's nothing visible there. There's nothing here to see. But then after 9 years, you're like, whoa, what
happened to you?
Now you can't ignore it because now it's taken root.
It's at
It's
head.
infected the body. Yes. And the entire progression of the disease now is showing. It's like a woman who is 2 weeks pregnant in comparison to a woman who is at term. It's like,
Right.
whoa, we're about to have that. Like you can't not see it anymore. And so that's where we are. We are at 9 months. You know, we're at 9 months, and like there's no way to ignore that we have a situation here.
We do.
We do. We need to take a quick break.
Okay.
I have to agree with you, but I would rather use the analogy instead of a woman having a baby. It's like say we had cancer and then we went into remission and now the cancer is back.
That's a great analogy
exactly
as well.
As a cancer to this country. You are listening to Our Pleasant Community Connection. We'll be right back right after this quick commercial break. Stand by, folks.
Hey guys, yes, this is my nonprofit, Carter's Caring Hands. And what my nonprofit does, we give fresh food boxes to those families in need that's struggling to keep food on their tables. We also go out into the unhoused community, give out care bags here in the Kalamazoo, Michigan area. So if you'd like to donate to the cause, please go to www.carterscaringhands.com and donate whatever you can, so we together can uplift those families that's struggling to keep food on their tables. Highly appreciated. God bless.
Opamay Simplistic Beauty is hair care and skin care in a bottle. Take a quick survey and let us design your own formula. Go to ourplugs.com, look for Opamay Simplistic Beauty, and we can get your formula out to you as soon as possible. We hope to hear from you soon. Have a great day.
Welcome to a world that sparkles. Sparkle Kicks LLC is your one-stop shop for a wide variety of customized items. So bling out your Crocs, customize that cutting board, get you custom dominoes. Stop by and we will customize your order today. We can be found on Etsy and Our Plugs LLC. I'll be waiting to customize your order. All you need to do is place it.
Hi everyone, my name is Ashley Middleton, life and executive leadership coach and owner of Radiate Coaching and Development, where we provide transformational strength-based coaching and mentorship. My goal specifically is to support you in identifying your mission, your vision, and your values that help you take your power back as you are building your career. Whether it's within or outside of the corporate world, my goal is to really empower you in making decisions that work well for you. So if you want to reach out to me, by all means, you can email me at radiate@midspiration.com or check out my website at radiatecoaching.com.
And we are back. You are listening to Our Plugs of Community Connection on WKRA 92.7 The Change. We left off with our brothers Reggie and DC Daryl. And we were having a riveting conversation on where we are in America right now. I love this conversation because it's one that needs to be had. It really does, so that maybe we can all take something from this. I'm hoping. That being said, go ahead and you can pick right back up where we left off at, Reggie.
Yeah, and I love your analogy, DJ Kitty, using the cancer analogy that went into remission, and then now it's come back. But again, I'd just like to establish the fact that at the cradle of this, the beginning of this country, what was injected, what as the social model, what was, used as a social model was the cancer itself. So that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a cancer. We've always been dealing with a cancer. And what we're trying to do is we're saying, okay, well, the cancer of politics can solve the problem of the cancer. The cancer of our economics can get rid of the cancer. It's like all of it is cancer. All of it is cancer. You can't use the problem to solve the problem. And so, and that's my point. You know, what I mean by cancer is that there's nothing wrong with politics. There's nothing wrong with any of these components, these societal components. However, what the goal, the intention of these systems is the problem. The goal and the intention of these systems are to support prioritizing products, profit, and power over people. Until we begin to prioritize people, products are fine, but they exist to support people. Profit is fine, however, it exists to support people. Power is fine, but it exists to empower people. People are the priority. And until we begin to flip that dynamic and we begin to provide our society with information and with tools on why they are the priority and why they are valuable, so that people can become a safe space for themselves. You become your own safe space. Miss Morningstar becomes her own safe space. DC becomes its own safe space. Reggie becomes its own safe space. And by consequence, if I become my own safe space, as a direct consequence, now you can be safe with me and we can be safe with each other. And all the things that we're grappling with are safety. We're not safe in our politics. We're not safe in our society. And so until we change that dynamic and until we reprioritize what is the priority, we're going to continue, this cancer is going to continue spreading.
We have to cut it. We have to find a way to cut it off at somewhere, because like you said, you know, it will continue to spread. And if we don't, and to me, what it sounds like you were saying is like building coalitions together. Like, I'm a safe space, you're a safe space. Then we bring people into the safe space, and more people start building their safe spaces and bringing people into their safe spaces, because the poison is out here. The poison is running rapid. It's running rapid through these kids, these young people. You know, they're being radicalized. They're being told lies by older people, you know, using them. Yes. Mm-hmm. And
well, it starts at the head.
We're suffering.
Well, he's using them. He's used them for years. He lied to them for years. And now the chickens have come home.
But I'm thinking way past just him. I'm thinking about the collective. Like, yes, he don't have that. Okay, we know the head. We know who is the model at this point right now. But I'm thinking about all the little seeds that spread, that have been spit out. You know, all the little
I mean, Ms. Morningstar, you hitting on it, because what he's doing is he's destroying, you know, the norms of society. He's breaking down all the pillars of democracy to the point where a person can't even express their opinion without being penalized and potentially losing their employment. Now,
what's happening right now? People are losing their job behind talking about.
Right.
And they don't have to like him. I mean, he didn't like them. If he were still here, do you know what he'd be saying?
We already know.
But we know that. And I agree with Mrs. Morningstar. We shouldn't give that name energy. We shouldn't. Because the simple fact is what we've seen this play already. The Central Park Five was the same play. You know, point out the perceived threat, the perceived enemy, the perceived demographic, and stand 10 toes on it, even when you've been found to be wrong. You know, so here we go again. You know, someone was unalived and the target was not their perceived enemy, but they still haven't recanted and said, you know what, we need to temper down the rhetoric. No, it's
They
still
turn it up.
more. It's just ramp it up, ramp it up, ramp it up. The train has left the station. So we're not backing down. This is what we want. We want this level of divisiveness where a person won't even recognize the harm that they're doing to themselves by engaging in this level of hate. That's what it's all about. It literally, people can be blinded to their own self-destruction because, like I said, you've been fueled. You, like Ms. Morningstar said, you've been radicalized to go out and commit an act that you normally wouldn't act out based on lies.
Yep, based on lies.
You know,
So this
so
is
that's the danger
And
in
that's
where we're at
why
right now.
I firmly feel like, okay, you know, we all did speak on it. We talked about it. We expressed our views about it. But I think now is the time for us to go ahead and move forward.
on.
And
Yeah, it doesn't have anything to do with us, right?
No, it don't. And we need to
It
act
has
like
nothing
it
to
doesn't.
do
We
with
need to
us
act like
at all.
who, what? When they come and they want to argue and they want to say things to try
right,
to ignite a fire, we need to
right.
diffuse the fire
Absolutely.
by just not even giving it any
Engaging,
attention.
Right.
And we
correct.
gotta focus on, like we've been focusing on, community building and trying to do better for us.
That's
Absolutely.
right. And most people live their lives in the middle. You know, there's no, you know, radical left. I mean, I don't know someone that's a radical leftist. I don't know anybody like that
Never
because
heard these terms
I
until
never heard
Never.
these terms
guy.
because, like,
They're made
Yeah.
up. They're new.
yeah, because most of us live our lives in the middle. There's some things that we're passionate about, and then there's some things we're conservative about. You know, so what they've done is, and again, I point to the 1% elite because they're the ones that have the power of the airways. They're the ones that have the power of the internet, and they allow this to happen. It's easily to shut it down
Right.
by, you know, not platforming people that instigate this kind of rhetoric. But they don't because there's money in hate. There's so much money in hate.
Millions.
Yeah, there's so much money in hate. So, I mean, Fox News has been proven to be an entertainment-based company, but yet people still go to it for their daily feed of what they feel is factual information, right?
It's crazy.
It's crazy, you know. So that's why we said, like we said, people are sick. The nation is sick because we've, you know, there's people out there that feed on this stuff. They need it. They gotta have it. And as long as it's catering, as long as it's catering to their biases, then they get a full diet. You know,
because that is the social. That's what I'm saying. That is the social construct. The social construct is competition. Okay, I have more than you. I am better than you. Okay, I've acquired more than you. I've been approved by groups that are, you know, and so until we move away from that into a space to where people can begin to see their value internally, who they are, and begin to enjoy their relationship. Because listen, all the things that racism, gun violence, discrimination, and on, you know, even mental health issues, they all stem from one core cause. They stem from people who don't enjoy their relationship with themselves, who don't enjoy how they experience themselves.
Like themselves.
And because there is a absence of value there, that produces a sense of loss. And what is inherent to loss is pain. So what I mean when I say us becoming our own safe space is moving into a space where you are acutely aware of your own value so that you can then begin to feel better about how you experience you.
because everything else emanates from that. The people who commit all the things that I listed are not happy people.
No.
No, they're
You
not.
don't find happy. You don't find people go, I'm so happy, I'm gonna go and shoot up an elementary school. That
Right.
never happens. Right?
And
You
I,
have people that are in some, I'm sorry.
I was just saying exactly. Hurt people, and they do it because they're hurting.
Exactly. So they are not a safe space for themselves. And therefore, as a consequence, we cannot be safe with them because they are not safe with themselves. Until we move people. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I just think that most people, most people are not self-aware. I'll just say that. Most people are not self-aware. And it'll take some type of life epiphany to make them to make them self-evaluate. Most people think they're perfect. Most people walk through life and think they're perfect. And it'll take some level of confliction. It'll take some level of self-awareness to make somebody even entertain what you're saying, Reggie. I love what you're saying, but most people won't. They won't walk themselves to that door. It'll take something to happen in their life to make them have to stare dead into that directly. Whether it be if you're a racist and you have a biracial grandchild, then sometimes that'll make a person reevaluate their stance because you look at this person and this person is you. This person is a part of you. If you have a gay child, maybe that'll make you self-reflect and say, hey, this is, I've been harboring this feeling, but that's my child and I love them and I'm going to support them, but most people won't walk themselves to that door, unfortunately.
I completely agree with you, but that's what I mean, Daryl, is that we have to begin to put out into our media spaces a new narrative. Everything is built on a foundation of words. We have to begin to put a different narrative that basically provides people with a different option, an option that benefits them, a better option of a new social model. We have to begin to advocate for that. We have to begin to talk about that, because the more we talk about it, then the more people become aware of it. Once people understand that this is something that can benefit them, then they're gonna be attracted to it. They're gonna be curious about it. And so, yeah, everything begins with, everything is narrative. Everything is narrative. We have to create that dialogue.
Yeah.
I agree, Reggie. I just feel too that we have to find a way to attract those particular type of audiences, because everyone can't understand it or appreciate the concept the way that we put it so eloquently, or how we may say it. A lot of younger people, let's just say it, they think like this is old people talk. This is that.
Right.
We need to make it attractive.
Well, I think what we should do, Miss Morningstar, is we should basically use, as Daryl pointed out, we should use these hot button topics to launch this conversation. Let's end gun violence. How do we do that? Let's end racism. How do we do that? So we're using the problems that are front and center in our clickbait and on our news cycles. Let's end our mental health crisis. How do we do that?
Right. And I think
You see what I'm saying?
we need to include the younger generation in some
Absolutely.
of the conversations, because
Absolutely.
the deconstruction needs to start. Like at some point, we all have to go through some deconstruction too, because
Absolutely.
we are I feel like we're all in a PTSD status as well because of what we've been through these last few years. So everybody has to deconstruct, like, what is racism? Because a lot of people have a misconception of what racism is. When you say it's a system, they're like, oh, here they go with that same thing. And they don't understand what we're trying to say. I didn't understand it at first. I had to listen. Read. Then I had to come back and listen some more to understand the breakdown of the actual word, from the prefix to the suffix, all of that. And I know it's going to be a challenge, but I just want to know, like, suggestions out here in Radio Land or on the chat. What is a suggestion to attract and bring and have those topics and bring them in on the conversation, because they are our voice. They are our voice, because once we get one of them talking, they get to talking to the next friend and the next friend, and then they pull in the other friend. You see how that person pulled in so many young people.
Right.
Well, I would suggest that we start with a roundtable on the radio, where we invite young adults to call in, and we sit and we number one, instead of us telling them, we ask them, what is it? If you could have what you needed right now, where would you start? What is it that you need? What do you see? Where do you see us going? Let them talk, because you got to think about it. For years, I even heard a young person say, how can we listen to you guys? You guys got us in this mess. And he was absolutely right. How can we listen to you when you guys got us in this?
And you know what? That's so true, though, Kitty, because in a sense, we didn't even know, like, if you're of the X generation, a lot of the times we were just going with the flow of what we knew. We didn't, have the full knowledge. Right.
Well, social media is what has brought it all out.
Exactly.
If we didn't have social media, we would still be on the same path that we've been on, being fed through mainstream media, what they want us to know, versus us getting out here and talking. So maybe we're listening.
Yeah, because I don't want one of those situations with young people where we're talking at them. Let them talk.
Exactly.
Let them talk.
Let them tell us exactly
what they want. They see it. And maybe let's start with, the young, each one of us bring I think the chat can hold up to 10 people, but that 10 would be just way too crowded. We wouldn't be able to get everybody in, but let's break the segments and talk to the young adults out here, our high schoolers, our college students, those who have graduated from college and newly into the workforce, our young parents. Let's listen and stop, because I've lived most of my life already, but I would like to know where it is that we can pick up and continue this journey with our young adults. I think that our leader, Reggie, DC, this is a great initiative. I'm going to reach out to a couple of young people. I have one in mind right now, young man in mind, and I'm going to talk to him and see, and remember we used to talk to a young man named Jalen? Let's see if we can get in touch with Jalen.
I remember Jalen.
Yeah, and I think that it would be helpful, to Ms. Morningstar's point, is to address, I think at the top of the show or at the end of the show, we should definitely talk to them about what their wish list is and what it is that they would like to see. But I think that to make it compelling, we need to focus on a topic that is
one topic
a compelling topic that everyone is really interested in finding a solution to, like gun violence, like racism, like discrimination, like mental health. We've got to that'll attract the audience, and then we can begin to open up a dialogue and to your point, listen. And then maybe have 5 minutes to just inject what our ideas are in terms of what we feel like would be a solution, and to see who's gravitating to that.
And believe it or not, these are conversations they're having already amongst each other. You
Mm-hmm.
know, they have podcasts, they have small little social groups where they communicate about what's happening. They're seeing everything we're seeing in real time.
Right.
And they're
Right.
seeing the fighting, they're seeing the arguing on these social media platforms. They're seeing us be angry. They're seeing their other side. And a lot of it is confusion for them because a lot of them are like, what is going on? Why is everybody fighting? Why is everybody so angry? So yeah, we need to have a topic that's hot to them, that's important to
Mm-hmm.
them,
Exactly.
and then kind of just work on deconstruction,
Exactly.
and work and let them say what they feel, because a lot of times we just don't know. They just bottled up.
Right.
Absolutely. And I think Sophia, 11-year-old Sophia, let's go back to Sophia. She said, if you ask us, we'll talk.
Yeah.
We're listening.
Mm.
You guys, it is now at the end of the show. We have ran out of time. This is always such a hot topic. I know we, well, you know what? I think we may have a few minutes because we started a little late. We started
did.
5 minutes
Started
late.
about 5 minutes late.
But I think that this is a topic that we need to take home and
To the street.
Yep. And get it going, because it's, if we don't do it, who's gonna do it?
Exactly.
Because this is bigger than politics, you guys. This is bigger than voting. This is about, are we going to survive? This is about our survival now.
We're on this planet and we have to reside.
Coexist, right?
Yeah. Coexist on this planet. And yet you know how we feel about a lot of things. We've all pretty much are on the same mental capacity, but
Right.
it's bigger than us, because
Exactly.
like you said, our days in front of us are shorter than what we have behind us. So now we got the children who are coming into adulthood and who are becoming parents, who are becoming business acclimated and are starting their life, and they have a lot ahead of them. Long as they're able to live in a normal society. Right now, this is abnormal. This is not normal.
No.
This, to Daryl's point, this is sick. This is sick.
We have cancer once again. We have cancer.
Oh, we like stage 5. I don't even know if there's a 5. Yeah, we're stage 9. Yeah, we are.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I'd like to say, and this is for the listening audience and for the panel. A quote was made back in the 1700s by a man called by the name of Samuel Johnson. And his quote said, "Patriotism is the last refuge of a scoundrel." And what that means is anytime someone uses patriotism, or you're anti-American or anti-patriot, to squash your voice, then believe that there's something nefarious going on.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing patriotism used as a weapon to take away your freedom of speech. Okay? We see it all the time. I mean, again, I'm not going to say his name, but, literally, are we serious what we're doing right now? I mean,
I'm not saying
literally.
no more.
Yeah. I mean, that's just it. I mean, it's all a power grab. It's the last refuge, because they know that by 2040, the demographic of this country will be way different.
2035.
It's coming.
It's coming.
2035.
It's
So-
coming. And then ain't nothing you can do about it.
There's nothing you can do about it. You can't have enough babies to change what's going to happen in the next 15 years. It's going to be different. And, everybody just stay prayed up, stay locked in, keep your eyes open, keep your ears open, and align yourself with people that are like thinkers.
Right.
Simple as that.
Yes, and watch your six, and please, for the love, listen to your elders. Please do not go out by yourself. Go in.
No.
Not the time to go jogging by yourself.
No.
Not anywhere by yourself.
Don't even run to the corner store by yourself. Like, seriously, I'm not trying to fearmonger you, anybody, but
Yeah.
let's be
Yeah, we just have
smarter
to be
today.
aware, be safe.
Yes,
Simple as that. I mean,
absolutely.
it's a lot of wicked people out there, wicked, and this is feeding right into their
And
their their
they
dreams and their
come
desires.
in all colors
There you go.
and forms. It's
There you go.
Yeah.
not unique to just one
One
Right.
demographic.
Right.
demographic.
Absolutely.
Right.
Any last words? We're gonna go ahead and wrap the show. Any last words? I want to say thank you guys for an amazing show as usual. But Reggie, any last words? I'll start with you.
Again, to DC's point, let's just be safe, guys. Be vigilant. Take care of yourselves, and just let's do less. Right now, it's a moment where I think we should do less, not more.
Sit down. That's what he's saying. Sit down. DC, any last words, brother?
Yeah, I mean, it's our job to leave this country better than it was handed to us. That's our job. Is we should want to see everyone achieve whatever goal, desire, dream they have, and that it should be celebrated, no matter what your color is, no matter what your sexual orientation is, no matter what your religion is. Who cares? We should be celebrating success and celebrating life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Miss Morningstar, you want to go ahead and take us out?
Yeah, you guys enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you for joining us this morning. Everybody have a great morning. Be positive, be direct, and also be very careful and enjoy your day. Enjoy your day. Thank you, WKRA, listening audience in the chat and on TikTok. We love you guys, and we will see y'all tomorrow. We'll be back.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Hey y'all, it's DJ Kitty
and Miss Morningstar.
We are here from Our Plugs, the Community Connection, and we will be your new morning host on WKRA 92.7 The Change.
Yes, we will be broadcasting Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time.
We'll also be streaming on YouTube at Our Plugs LLC.
Be sure to tune in.